Tangents, thank you for coming.
And it's already connected. It's weird. Like the reconnecting thing didn't work, but
The connecting again worked.
yeah. Oh well. But maybe now it's using the new settings and it's not complaining anymore about my keyframe intervals. Excellent connection, YouTube claims. I don't trust it. Either way. So we have our array of arrays, because you can store anything in an array of arrays. In reality, it's enough to have a single array, but that's just really tedious. So I was thinking the lowest structure that I gonna support is the array of arrays. And so far it only supports unsigned integers and floats, which is also pretty limited. However, so you have this array of arrays, and you can write to it by calling the setValueLogged function. We specify an array index and a value index and a value, and it will do its thing. And what's interesting about the setValueLogged is that it will not only write your data, it will also write into an undo log. So if you've written a bunch of data with setValueLogged and you then decide you want to undo, you can just call rollback and it undoes. Now this only lets you have a single undo step, which is awful. Programs that only have a single undo step shouldn't exist, even though they still do. Interestingly, Microsoft Excel is one of them, the newest version. It's incredible. It's very courageous of them to charge like a yearly fee for that. Either way. However, you can very easily extend it to have multiple undo steps, because after each operation you can call take undo log, which will give you this delta
You're almost
value.
making this linked list kind of system.
Exactly. So a delta represents the change between two versions, and you can just keep as many of the deltas as you like, and there's no coincidence.
It would be interesting if there were a function that can take the mean between the current transformation and the previous one.
Now, the mean is not exactly useful, but I think I know where you're going with. So
what I'm saying is imagine you're drawing a line and it overshot, then you draw another line and it undershot. So what if you could just have a line that's like whoosh, through the middle, right?
I think 3ds Max actually does that, but I'm not planning to. So Git, right? Or version control systems.
Yeah.
Most repositories are not such a mess, I hope.
Yeah. So I have a question. Beyond curiosity, why are you making this?
Because it's useful.
For what?
So there were like at least 2 projects by now where I wished I had this. One of which was a music player, and the other one is a 3D modeling program. It's interesting. YouTube says my stream status is good, but the circle next to it is not green. It's also not yellow. It's
Black or red.
Turquoise? Turquoise? That's what it's called.
Turquoise.
Which I've never seen so far. Either way, so you have these deltas, right? Which store the difference between 2 versions, and you can just have your own undo log filled with the deltas, and then you can undo as much as you want. However, there's another thing that you can do. Instead of having just a linear undo, you could have basically any graph. So this can already represent your Git graph, where like each node would be a version and each edge between them would be a delta. Because, well, an undo log is actually very similar to a version graph, revision graph. And since you're gonna, like, for both you just need some way to store differences between versions. So as soon as you have that, you can have undo and you can have git support or like version control support. However, there is more.
There is more.
You know how most of the times you have a UI that like displays things about your data. Now, if your data changes, you want some way to update your UI. And now a lot of programs just redraw everything because that's very easy to implement. But what if you had some way to only update the UI elements that display data that has changed? Well, the delta already stores just the things that have changed. So basically, as soon as you can store deltas, or as soon as you have a log, you can easily implement a large number of features. And one of those features is a modifier stack. So you know how in Blender you have modifiers, right? In 3ds Max you also have them. You do know what modifiers are, right? In those programs.
I mean, yeah, they're just sort of like After Effects in a way.
Exactly. And these two need to update their output when their input changed, right? So you have this update modifier function here that just looks at the log and calls update on all the modifiers that, like, need to be updated. So you get a whole lot of different features with that. The delta thing has another advantage. You know Google Docs?
Yeah.
As soon as you can,
control. Yeah.
as soon as you're able to send, like, to serialize deltas and send them over the internet, you can basically do collaborative editing. This is huge. And since it's all implemented in this very low-level library in a way that you can just use it for any kind of program,
useful.
Exactly. Your excitement should reach at least the levels of excitement that you have when you talk about Girls Frontline, But right now it's like
to me,
it's like 10% of that.
I wouldn't even say that. Like, here's the thing. It's something so useful, but also very uninteresting. Do you understand?
No, I do not.
My point is,
I do not understand
I
at all.
can totally see why this is useful. But in terms of, like, wow, this is, like, mind-blowing, it doesn't really blow my mind, do you understand?
Yeah, I guess I see what you mean.
Like it's like what you're describing is, like, it's hard work, yeah.
It's
and I'd be
really difficult to come up with a design that can do that. This is like my 5th attempt or so.
Yeah, I know. Like, now you know how now you know how I feel like when I'm trying to describe my, like, symbolic AI system. I'm like, I've come up with this, like, very beautiful way of describing everything as, like, the set of transformations of this thing, and you're like, yeah, well, now why is it useful? In this case, it's like it's the opposite, where I'm like,
this is totally useful.
No, that's what I said. In this case, it's like the opposite, where it's like, I know why this is useful. It just isn't intellectually, like, very satisfying.
Like, this is designed from the ground up, like, from the point of view of the user of the library, because that's me. Yeah, I'm reminded of something. Charlton, like 3 days ago or so, Charlton has sent me this article about how DeepMind has solved like a 50-year-old problem about
Yeah, protein
folding
folding. Yeah.
proteins. Yeah, like and I like put off reading the article, right? And every day since he told me, so have you read that article yet? And today I
The video.
finally,
Okay, Yannick posted a video about it today.
huh.
So you can watch that instead.
Well, today I finally read the article, and by read the article, I mean I looked at the picture and read a few lines of text.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's probably great.
They haven't really released much of the model. They've just explained some of like the changes between it and like the first version of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was under the impression that folding is something we can solve just by like physics simulation. So
I mean,
I
we
didn't know
can't.
this this problem wasn't solved yet.
No, like here's the thing. We kind of can solve it with physics simulations. It's just like extremely hard to do it. It's very slow. You understand?
Yeah, but I mean, machine learning is usually also very slow.
Yeah, but faster is the sort of like advantage. Like the thing is, the kind of physics simulations you have to do is it's like you're not simulating just a collection of small atoms, right? Nor are you simulating something that's big enough so you can neglect the atoms. You're simulating something that's just big enough so that you have to simulate all the atoms, otherwise you're going to lose precision. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I wonder to what extent it's like, what's it called? Like the machine learning super resolution for video games.
What do you mean?
Like the new GPUs, right? They let you render the game at a
DLSS.
lower resolution and then run machine
DLSS.
learning. Hmm?
Yes, DLSS.
Yeah, exactly that.
Deep
Um,
learning super sampling.
and so our algorithms to draw polygons
Hmm.
are like pretty good. Like we've been studying that for like 30 years.
Yeah.
So if you can come up with a machine learning solution that does it better, then that's like to me is saying that our line or like polygon drawing algorithms are actually shit.
Yeah.
Of course, I understand it's not just about drawing polygons. Like the much more expensive stuff is evaluating like the shaders. But then I'm asking, why not just write more efficient shaders?
Because that would require more work from the person trying to write the shaders, not the person who's like trying to fix the problem of the person who wrote the shaders.
Yeah, I guess so.
Give me a second, I'm gonna get something to drink.
Hmm. Hmm. Perfect.
look at the psychology stuff, and I actually think I could learn something cool for like in terms of how to model AI, human-like AI. Not necessarily like what things like how they function internally, but rather what they're supposed to do abstractly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that different parts of the body are structured to do different things, right? Like this particular part deals with this, which then triggers that emotion, which then cascades into this stuff. I think it's cool to categorize that so that I can know, okay, I have to build these different things so I can make a human-like thing, right? So how the fuck do I build just one of them? The hope is that I could start with a simple one so I feel less demotivated.
Useful.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even need to write this generally. I can just write this like the opposite of generally.
Which is specifically.
Yeah, exactly. That. This should work. Okay. One function left and we should be able to test it.
Alright, I'm gonna relax now. So I'll leave the call. Maybe I'm probably not gonna call you later because you're gonna do your Anki session soon.
Oh,
After that.
you're right. I totally should do that.
So maybe the stream can watch you
Ha, ha,
do your
ha,
Anki
ha.
session.
I still have no viewers apart from us.
It's terrible. I wonder if the situation would have been different on Twitch or something.
But you know, that's more than I had expected.
See, you didn't even include yourself watching it, and me, you're like, that's out of the question.
Yeah, I didn't expect you.
But alright, yeah, I'll get going now. Okay, see you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Of course that doesn't work. Why would it? Why does it not follow my coding style? Now it does. But the way it does indentation is just awful. What same person would ever want the indentation like this? It's just revolting. Wow, incredible. Can I move this implementation outside of the class or out of the struct if the struct is anonymous? Yeah, I thought so. That doesn't work at all. I guess I could just rename it too. Could just rename it so it says that it does not log, because having this function the way it is useful anyway. Does this work? What type will it use for the array anyway now? Yeah. Let's add some values here. Ah, right, they have to be float values. I guess I have to be explicit with the type, which is fine. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this doesn't work at all. Never mind. It's probably fine. No, it's not a template. Okay, I guess it's not a template. The array index is 1. The value index is 0. This is all correct. The value I can't look at because it's well, it's a variant. No idea how to make the debugger display them. I guess I could create something. Here create a watch value, watched value, or what it's called. Let's see, cd get float value. No such value. Well, I guess I can just put arbitrary expressions here. Yeah. Yes, no. This doesn't work either. I guess I could try std get if float value. Nope. Yeah, well, not important. Ah, yes. I see the problem. I forgot to initialize the delta. I guess it should happen in arrays. Maybe I guess it could happen. It could happen in push array. A dot undo log dot arrays update index dot push back an empty array. A dot undo log dot arrays updates value dot push back another empty array. Now this array should already have the same type as this array. Not sure. I guess I need a functor for that. One thing that would be really hacky would be to just copy array into it after having called move on it. Not a fan of this, but it'll work. Yes, and here I also have to do a and undo log dot index equal array. Array is empty here, and I also have to remove all update indices that might be stored at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure how to write array changes into the log, but I should stop now anyway. Well, let's give it one more try. it actually finished. And it wrote 4 and 1. Perfect. Perfect. It works. It works exactly as intended. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, then that's it for today.